अपनी मर्जी से कहाँ अपने सफर के हम हैं, अपनी मर्जी से कहाँ अपने सफर के हम हैं, रुख हवाओं का जिधर है उधर के हम हैं। पहले हर चीज थी अपने मगर अब लगता है, पहले अपनी हर चीज थी अपनी मगर अब लगता है अपने ही घर में किसी दूसरे घर के हम हैं। वक्त के साथ है मिट्टी का सफर सदियों से, वक्त के साथ है मिट्टी का सफर सदियों से, किसको मालूम कहाँ के हैं किधर के हम हैं। चलते रहते हैं चलना ही मुसाफिर का नसीब, सोचते रहते हैं किस राह गुजर के हम हैं। हम वहां हैं जहां कुछ भी नहीं रास्ता न दयार, हम वहां हैं जहां कुछ भी नहीं रास्ता न दयार, अपने ही खोए हुए शामों शहर के हम हैं। गिनतियों में ही गिने जाते हैं हर दौर में हम, गिनतियों में ही गिने जाते हैं हर दौर में हम, हर कलमकार की बेनाम खबर के हम हैं। That was Nida Fazali. Good evening and welcome to Sheetal of Conversation, Sunday evening 7 p.m. IST show. This is your host, Jugal Koul. I'm so pleased and delighted to meet you again. This great rendezvous on this Sunday. Once again, looking at the skies, they are overcast with clouds all around, and there's a nature's ferry going on. I don't know. Nature doesn't discriminate when it comes to the disaster, and we have flood ferry everywhere in the northern part of the India, especially the Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir, and Himachal as well. But I think we need a lot of help. We all must do whatever little we can do to help the NGOs and even physical help and monetary help, whatever we can do, especially the Punjab. And in the whole crops are destroyed, the cattle that's blown up. That's gone, that's flooded. It is, it has streamed down, and everything is lost there. And they're lagooned in some places, and yet we all must. Whatever possible, we must try to do and help our great countrymen. And with the Punjabi spirit, that's what I say. So with that, I'd like to say that today, once again, I am back with that Biscope. This Biscope Wala is back with the basket, the mosaic of stories and anecdotes. We talk about the civilization in this part of the country and the diaspora, which has been settling in other parts of the plains, and our identity. Like all other identities, sub-identities of India. And we have been talking about art, literature, culture, musicology, treatises, travelogues, ecology, color, mountains, geology, architecture, archaeology, and I think reasonably we have been able to move around in the spine of the civilization that we all belong to. And the civilization term is also very elusive. It changed its textures after every millennia. Gradually, it goes and evolves into something different. But the root remains there, and root is something which is very important. It has been proved by the Western world now, even by the great scientists from the Eastern and Western. They have proved it, and it was already in our Upanishads. It was already in our in our scriptures in the Orient, and now the Occident is also having its experience, and they are writing great books about it. That how roots are very important for the development of intelligence of a personality of a person, and that's how it is. And once again, today I'm going to take you to a great flight, meander around this great gregarious, avenues of stories, a basket of stories, the sine wave of civilization which we are going to crisscross through. And once again, I welcome you with very, very warm heart. I'm really grateful to you, all followers of this conversation. And this has been a very, very, the response has been very good all along. So today, once again, I'm going to tell you that, since centuries, Kashmiris have moved to the prominent cities in the plains of our country by the dint of their hard work and the bestowed inherent intelligence, have acquired excellence and positions of eminence, serving the nation with laurels. They have always remained conscious to keep their native identity alive. This is something very important. Like all other identities, like Madrasis, like Bengalis, all the sub identities of Indian subcontinent and India, this great country, this great ancient nation, we all, try to preserve our sub identity, and the sub identity comes. The lot many efforts have been made because our people have moved on to the plains, as I said earlier. They're moving into many centuries. They're moving around. So once again, today I'm going to have a conversation. We'll try to unravel the inter and intra community ethos in the mid of 20th century within the diaspora in Delhi. And we'll also explore the foundation, anatomy, and evolution of All India Kashmiri Samaj. You must have heard about All India Kashmiri Samaj. It's a very prominent premier organization, AIKS, and its trust, a premier community organization created in the previous century for the welfare of the community living across the country and now abroad also. So it is a kind of a conglomerate organization. It's very respected and it's very authentic. It's taken, it's taken seriously by the all establishment and the people who are not part of the establishment. So we are also going to talk about Indian diaspora in US, Little Kashmir in Florida, where our today's guest conversation is living since 1987. Our today's guest, his name is Ravi Munshi ji, former alumnus from Delhi College of Engineering, now Delhi Technological University, which was part of the Delhi University of Delhi and University of Michigan, United States. Ravi Munshi is a senior directorial corporate management leader and a specialist with an outstanding expertise in airports constructions. Based on in Sarasota, I don't know whether I pronounce it rightly, Florida, where he lives with his family since 1987. Ravi Munshi is a vibrant social activist, blogger, a philanthropist, helping sponsor several needy native students through Kashmiri Overseas Association. Like all other great Kashmiris who are abroad, they have helped our native students, people to study the scholarship and help in many other ways. He is a founder member of All India Kashmiri Samaj Trust, founded in 89-90 in response to the exodus of KPs from the valley to look after the welfare of the community. So that's a very important and paramount thing. Besides your professional excellence, you are part of this, you have this ethos still live in your heart, in your consciousness. We are also going to talk about his great father, life and times of civil servant Sri Dwarkanath Munshi ji, a great personality, a social activist, former president of All India Kashmiri Samaj, and we'll be exploring many things because he was a bureaucrat. He must have been thick with all and his understanding of all the great incidents, the major incidents, the prominent and paramount incidents happened in the political spectrum in those times. So we will also go into that arena, and we'll just see how we explore this great personality. And another great personality is we all know, this country knows, that is the life and times of the renowned economist, educationist, and author Padma Vibhushan, Professor P.N. Darsa. He is a founder member of Delhi School of Economics, we all know, and principal secretary to the former Prime Minister. And he is the worthy father-in-law of Ravi Munshi ji. So Ravi Munshi ji is connected both. He is there in the convergence of both these great dynasties and these great personalities. So we'll be just bringing in Munshi Saab to the show, and without wasting much of the time. So let's begin the show. Let's welcome him with very open heart, warm heart, affection, and reverence. Ravi ji, you are welcome into the Sheetalnath Conversations 119th show. It is known as Jugal Koul Hat Show now. So I'm turning into a hat show. So you're welcome, sir. I hope you're doing very well in Florida. How is Florida going on?
Well, Florida is doing very well, but I wish I could think of better thing about all the devastation that has been going on in your part of the world.
Yes,
Really,
that's very sad.
Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal and Punjab, and my heart really goes out to all of them who have been affected. adversely affected by the floods. And I hope
Yes.
they are able to come back to their normal lives in the shortest possible time. That's my this thing. And
Our
secondly,
brothers,
yes,
our brothers and our people from Punjab, especially Punjab, is drowned. I mean, a lot of crops are destroyed. Their
yeah,
This flock is all gone. It is washed away in the floods, and they are lagooned in some. But their NGOs are working, and as you and I'm again appealing to all people to serve in whatever capacity to our brethren and Punjabis. They are very strong personalities. They can live any disaster, but then again they are the human, and we all must rise and help our fellow countrymen in whatever way. There are a lot many NGOs going on now and working in this direction. We can move into those spots ourselves and just adopt a village and go near to that particular situation, help in whatever way we can. So, sir, you're welcome. It's a great, once again, a great joy to have you on my show. I have
thank
been
you.
chasing you since months, but finally I got catch hold of you. ये
Yeah,
फ्लोरिडा वाले बहुत elusive होते हैं, but
uh,
somewhere down the line, I got it. To begin with, as per the paradigm of this conversation, is that you have your memories of Kashmir. Your father moved to Delhi in 1950s, and you have been to Kashmir during your holidays and in the feast and in the weddings and
yeah,
otherwise also. Let us know about your reminiscences of Kashmir, its architecture, its landscape, social as well as the geographical landscape and the culture and the traditions, whatever your architecture, your home, the family.
yeah,
Let's explore and let's swim down to that
absolutely,
bay of your memory.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, first of all, I have some fleeting memories of my ancestral home, which probably saw a few times um, in Earl Kudu. And as I think I told you that I was born and brought up in Delhi, and my going to Srinagar was primarily like a visitor. But I had a lot of cousins and a lot of uncles and aunts and all those things. So I used to go from one place to the other and all that, and it was a beautiful place. It will, I think, that beauty can never be robbed of that part of the world. Mm, the the difficulties that it has gone through is entirely a different.
That's
Uh,
a different scenario.
yes,
But
yes,
you were saying that you had a huge house there. You lived in Munshi Mahalla and all
yes,
these
yes,
things.
yes,
We got
yes.
to know about something
Well,
about
I
your
don't know
witness.
about huge or not, but because every house that I saw in my memory, that in my childhood, they were all very huge houses. So
Marble.
yeah, they were all big homes and big beautiful architecture and all kinds of things that I always felt. I marveled at the amount of time and effort it would take someone to build those kinds of houses and all that. So um, that is one thing it's clearly sits in my mind, and it's very vivid as I'm speaking with you. It was situated on Mer. Now there's no Mer anymore, and that thing is long gone. But it was there. So
Mar Canal is gone. Mar is
yeah,
gone. Yes.
and those things were something that and I had some my grandparents, my great grandmother would tell me stories about all the beautiful and nice environment that they lived in. I was not that fortunate enough to see that in firsthand, but I did whatever little I could. And then and I felt quite comfortable uh, in every time that I was in, in Srinagar, uh, primarily because that I could speak Kashmiri, and
That's something great.
I could communicate with the locals, very conveniently, as compared to someone who comes from Delhi and then has to speak in Parim Pershur or something like that. So that was not that was some one advantage that I had, that I inherited, basically from my parents. And we are going to different places. It looked, even though there were those pochas were very dirty and things like that as compared to Delhi, but still there, it still had its own kind of a charm.
It is ancient urban delight. It was an
Yeah,
ancient urban
yes,
delight.
yes. And some of the things that stand out in my mind. One of them was my I had a number of cousins there, and with whom I used to interact and play around. They would always ask me, "Ha-
Yes, please.
ha dilicha asan sonsan se sadak?" I mean, that was something that they felt that these the roads there in Delhi. I'm talking about 60, 65 years ago, 70
Oh,
years ago. So
seven.
they thought that they had never seen a train. And I would wonder, why have they not seen a train? What is so special about a train that they don't know what it is? So those are,
There used to be snakes in the outer periphery, but the one is one a pass or of means harmless snakes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So those are some of the things.
Any excursion, you if you jot down your memory, any place, any special place or special like going to Shankaracharya, going to a Dunga cruise,
Yeah, oh yes, Dungas, yes, yes. Now that you reminded me of a Dunga, I have an incident that I have four sisters, so
oh
they were all young. Were all young. We were coming from Kir Bhavani to going somewhere. I don't even know where we were going.
yeah, there used to be a
Yeah,
Dunga goes to
yeah,
Kheer Bhavani and
yeah.
Gandarbal and
So yeah, somewhere we were going, and then and there was a bunt, and the Duga was pretty close to that, or something. There was Shahtut, some paid, or something that
yes,
was hanging over the water, and one young sisters, one of them energetic enough to just climb up the tree, and now she did not know how to get off, and then the Dunga is still moving, and so those are some of the things that
see,
I'm glad that you brought up Dunga. But apart from that, of course, the usual places, Dal and Nagin, and one of the places that I really admired and found very serene that time of my life was Daksum.
uh,
Yeah, that was one place that I thought, uh,
Daksum.
Yes, Daksum, and and that was the mountain with all the trees kind of covering the mountain, and not even a single spot which was kind of left out. There was not a single aberration there. All the trees were kind of lined up in a. That is my memory. Perhaps it's not the same now. Even though I went to Kashmir just a few months ago, I was there, and just a few days before the Pahalgam incident took place.
Unfortunate, very unfortunate,
The
very
very
tragic.
unfortunate thing. In fact, I have written about that also. But
Yeah, I saw your blog and yeah.
yeah, yes. So that's. Uh, but it has become so congested. Uh, in Delhi, there were never used to be cars. There were very few vehicles, motor vehicles, and now
In Delhi, the money flooded in after this Asiad, probably 72 Asiad, mid 70s and Asiad. And
I would think so. But what I thought was that the infrastructure in Srinagar, with all those vehicles, if Delhi was flooded, that would probably be that's understandable. But Srinagar with that kind of a thing, but obviously there's a lot of money there too, and then but the infrastructure has not been taken care of there, and it's I felt that the Vitasa is kind of left in almost become a stream, that also kind of
you
dripping.
have some, you must have attended some religious places, spiritual places there like Kheer Bhavani,
Of course, yes,
and
yes.
yeah, you have some memories of those Kheer Bhavani and
Yeah,
Shankaracharya and any
Ar-
other place.
around that time, yes, there used to be. In fact, I can even compare from what it used to be and what I saw this time when I went there. That there was no way that I could go and take a shower. We used to go and take a shower before we go in. We went into Tulwal, but here this time when I went, there might have been, but everything seemed to be kind of not to a point where one would kind of take a dip or something like that. So those are
There's that tributary which comes, Dul's tributary which comes, and that's a Nag there where people take bath.
yeah.
That's general common place. Where people
Yeah.
take bath.
Yes. There used to be a separate section for women with some
And then, yeah,
thing hanging, clothes hanging there, and then they are behind that and doing all kinds of taking dips.
and then we had the Lucia and other manja of
Chai, Luchita, and yeah,
delicious kava chai and all that.
yeah,
And then Aarti was fabulous. I remember as a child, Aarti and Diya, they used to just lit those diyas, and
absolutely.
everybody used
Right.
to
Yeah.
parikrama,
Parikrama.
circumambulation. That was great, great delight to feel that Aarti evening. Everybody was together. They used to do Aarti. My goodness, that was beautiful,
Yeah.
full of.
So those are the things that obviously, what happens is that if you're seen a particular place in one condition, and then later,
It is.
the difference is
It
stark.
disturbs you. It
And
disturbs. As a sensitive personality, it disturbs a lot.
Yes.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. That is how deterioration is happening everywhere, and I don't know. Probably it's a human greed, human mind, which has become parochial.
Probably.
There's less of emotion, less of synergy, less of empathy. So that's how these things have happened. So
Right.
nature doesn't discriminate. Nature, when punishes, it punishes everyone. Even the
Right.
people are nothing.
Absolutely. And then so those
Sir,
are
Raviji would like to now push this conversation towards Delhi, the place you were born, Rajdhani, and we are since it's a great place, and time immemorially it has different names. But let's come down to the reality. Reality means let's come down to the nearer spaces, and nearer means the last century, mid of last century, and let's talk about Diaspora in Delhi. And before going to the Diaspora Delhi, your life in Delhi, your schooling, the impressions of Delhi as a citizen of India, and as well as a Kashmiri, and Delhi College of Engineering, and what were your? How do you remember those?
Yes, of course. I have a lot more that I can expound on in terms of Delhi, because I was born there, and it must have been a couple of years after my family moved to Delhi.
Okay.
Then we were living in Pulbangash area, and there was, I think there was a house which was because at the time of partition, some Muslim family owned that house, and they migrated to Pakistan, and that fell vacant. And
Evacuated.
and then that was Bala Hindu Rao. It was near Pulbangash, where name of the place was Bala Hindu Rao, and one of my grandmother's nephews, he happened to get that house, and you might have heard the name. Who was a great painter, late Pandit Somnath Khosa, whose son is also a renowned painter. So
Yes, he was on my show. His son was on my show.
okay, his son. But I'm talking about
Father.
I don't. I have very very faint memories of of him, but I remember his dad, and because we kept in contact, for a long time, and he had that house, and then I think they were living on the ground floor, and we went to this first floor with a tin sheet, which is a corrugated metal sheet. And in June, July, that would be
My
the inferno. And my grandmother and all the people. There was a big family. It was a joint family, and
Okay.
they had one small room in which all of us were living. And then I came along, and then I made it 10. And there were 9 of them, and then I added to become 10 of them in that thing. And it was a difficult situation. And then I am trying to figure out how many years did we spend there. Maybe 4 or 5 years, and after that we moved to Shaktinagar. Now
Oh.
Shaktinagar has its own history. Yeah, Shaktinagar is almost like uh, hub, was a hub of Kashmiris who had migrated from Kashmir in search of you know livelihood,
Opportunities, new
opportunities,
opportunities.
better opportunities and all that, instead of just going and working in AG's office. So they moved, and they came to Delhi. That was the land of opportunity, and then like it happened.
Kashmiris have been living in ancient from 5th centuries back during Mughal times, and Sitaram Bazar was also a very popular locality.
Yeah. But they probably lost their what you call the language skills, the Kashmiri language skills, and which is very natural, over this hundreds of years. I mean, if you look at some of the Kashmiri associations, KPA is, I think, 1930s, 35s, going back to those. So they were there, but even the Sitaram Bazaar and the Chandni Chowk and all that, those areas were okay, but I think many of them were. No, there were Kashmiri speaking also there. If I now that I recall, but
But culturally, they had maintained their identity despite of moving there for centuries.
yes,
Yet their traditions and culture, there might have been aberration, there might have been evolution. It happens; it's very natural. But
right,
then again, they had their identity, Kashmiri identity intact, which I
right,
see.
rituals and all.
Pride, Kashmiri pride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yes. That Shaktinagar, I have a
Keep talking,
much
check.
clearer memories of Shaktinagar, because we had, I don't know, 35, 40 families there, or maybe even more, which I may not have known. But they seem to have a. They were all young. I'm talking about my parents. They were all young. They were all looking to make good of themselves, and they had, in my impression, they had a sense of camaraderie, and they were
Yeah.
kind of helpful to each other.
That
So
was in that era. That was very common. Very, very.
that was very much. And then you in fact, in Florida, while as I live in Florida, I was attending one function just a few months ago in Miami, and,
Man.
there was one lady that I met, whom I would not have, any other Kashmiri lady, and she and I got talking, and she said, "Do you? Where did you live in in Shaktinagar?" I told her the street where I lived. She says, I used to live 4 or 5 blocks on the same street in Shaktinagar. I said, I don't know. She says, go and ask your sister. I'm the among all the sisters. I'm the uh,
Youngest one.
youngest, among the sisters. Yeah. So then what happens is, then I said, yeah, I know your elder sister. This one, that one. We used to do whatever. They probably knew each other. So what I'm saying is that it was concentrated. That area was very concentrated, and they used
Yes.
to be very, very helpful to each other, and coming to everybody. And that is, I think, it's a response for being together as a herd, so that the outsiders do not come and hurt you. See what I'm saying?
Not
And
only that, not only that, it gave you a kind of a warmth and a reason and a joy to
yeah,
live. in
Yes.
your the bad times or the hard times and whatever.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it was, I think, the love was the connecting, thread
Yes.
in those times. Everything.
Respect and love. Uh,
Respect was the
yeah,
respect.
respect and love
Not
for each other, and there was no acrimony, and
no
well,
agreement. Nothing.
at least that I did not see, during my impressions. And I'm glad that I my memories are kind of uh, have not been impacted by if there was anything untoward happening there. So that's basically what it is. And then Delhi, it expanded right in front of my eyes.
Yes.
As I was growing up, I remember I used to go to a place, uh, NSCI. NSCI is the National Sports Club of India, and that is near that Supreme Court and all that area, India Gate. Supreme Court. So I
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to go from another place, and beyond that was everything was a jungle, everything was forest. There was nothing. I could not see anything. And of course, the old Delhi walls and all those things, from the Mughal era. Apart from
Mughal
that,
period. Yeah.
also in a very dilapidated condition. Other than that, there was nothing. Or even if in Morris Nagar, going up the ridge, you could get lost there, and it was kind of scary to go there, in the evenings or late at night. So those are but they
Post partition, it developed probably, as you rightly said, when you must have been in your teens, I don't know, 60s or 70s, and
yeah,
it started developing and sprawling and extending beyond boundaries because of opportunities. People from there are certain states which were ruled by the mafias and the goons, and people ran away for the sake of
right,
livelihood and the honor. They
yeah,
came
yeah,
all
yeah.
along from all over the country. That's why.
And then like Gurgaon or Shahdara, yeah, or
Adra.
Shadra or Gurgaon, they were like almost like closer to Bombay than to Delhi, in
Well,
our minds.
nowadays, yes, that's true. Nowadays, I was amused to see wherever I go, these the people, the vegetable vendors are very smart. They know the complete psyche of Kashmiris, and you get this, nol call,
Monje,
manje,
Monje.
and other, and everything they bring along. They know this is Kashmiris love it, and they put an exorbitant price. I went to Mayur Vihar many times. I saw there in Naida also. The vegetable vendors know what we eat
Yeah.
and what is the most suitable, vegetable.
There's an INA market. They have that masala.
INA, yes.
Yeah, Jagdish or something like. I don't even know. Is that name is Jagdish or something? Who
I don't know.
makes masala? Masala.
And masala, this the INA market.
There is an INA market. So,
My uncle lived nearby. There was a government accommodation there. No, there's a government.
oh, yes, there used to be they have kind of demolished all those things, I think.
I don't
And,
know now. I'm talking about 20 years back. Yeah.
oh yeah, I think they might have done that because they're RK Puram became multi-storied buildings, and and
Yeah.
then also this area is
There
also
was a huge structure.
revival.
I remember it was made by during British time. Beautifully designed, huge house. Huge apartment they used to live, and it had walls and the slits. And somewhere down the line, this air flew in. It was a natural air conditioning, huge walls, raised ceilings, beautiful. I mean, I really enjoyed being there. And levels, there were levels in the rooms, huge one. Anyway, let's move ahead. Now, I would like to say one thing that since we are talking about the diaspora, especially post partition, as your father has shifted there post partition. So post partition till the time you graduated there from Delhi College. You can talk a bit about Delhi College of Engineering if you really want to say University of Delhi, and the institution, the school. Where did you go? Yeah.
Well, Delhi College of Engineering, it used to be in Kashmiri Gate at that time.
Yes.
Okay, and that's where we used to go. It is a very one of the smallest campuses that I have ever visited uh, in a college of that um, that kind of
Eminent.
yeah, limited space, three disciplines: electrical, mechanical, and civil, and nothing else. 60 or 70 students per class per year, and all those are the things that stand out.
In
And but Delhi College of Engineering has a long history. It was before that. Uh, it was not a degree college. Right across the road was another thing where they used to do AMIE or something like that. I don't.
vocational and engineering courses, other
Yeah.
courses.
And then behind us was a women's college for doing electrical, electronics, and all kinds of things. They were all. So it was a very progressive area. That area was nice in that sense. But
And you done your schooling. Your schooling was in Delhi, and which school did you go?
okay, I went to a number of schools, but I graduated from Ramjas number 5.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, yeah. I was
You have
in.
great,
Huh? Say that again.
you must have great memories about that
Oh,
place.
oh yeah, yes, 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 yes. Ramjas number 5, but there before that I was in a school which was when I was in Shakti Nagar area. Dhanpatmal was the name of a school which you would not know. It's not anymore that prominent, but yeah, Ramjas number 5 was where I, had my schooling, and that
Hmm.
from there I went to the engineering college. So that's basically what I did, and congested area, but nevertheless, when you are young, when you have friends, everything seems,
What was the frequency of going to a congregation within a Kashmiri diaspora? Frequency of meeting each other, because you were living in an area where Kashmiris were in abundance, but
yeah,
yet meeting on a Sunday meet or some festival meet or exchange of those
yeah.
things with each
Okay.
other. What was the frequency of meeting and having congregations and yeah?
I cannot recall as all of them coming together in one place, but there was a lot of exchange of like I would visit your house on a Sunday unannounced, and
Oh,
yeah,
that was a time we could do that. We could take that liberty.
do that.
Nobody
Well,
will feel bad. People used to get excited if somebody visited them.
and if I came to your house at 12 noon, and now you know that it's time for lunch, but you want to just go back home, but you are going to insist that I have lunch with you, and then suddenly hurriedly you are going to cook something or the other, and then everything gets okay. So that was the kind of a thing. uh, Invitations were basically on somebody's birthday, somebody's wedding, somebody's this, somebody's that, all kinds of things. But other than that, two or three families. Now, there was one particular house, and there were three or four Kashmiri families living in that house only.
Wow.
They were renting, but different
Different apartments and different,
different apartments, yeah, in
floors are
the
different.
same house. In the same house, yeah, three or four of them. So if you are going to one, then you go to the next. You have lunch here, and then you go to have evening tea somewhere else, and then some, and they're all connected to you. And then I remember that somebody said, "Hey, hayat achuk me panun gobur." So you know what I'm saying?
Got
That,
that collective love, collective affection.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
in those days, I even remember, even हमारे घर में, if anybody would come to our place, our sisters, they would hide the shoes of
yeah.
Masi or anybody. I mean, we always wanted that everybody should come. The resources were scarce, but love was abundant.
Abundant, yes, abundant love. Yeah, yeah. There was no uh, uh, scarcity of love. Yeah, yeah. That is true. That is
So
true.
now let's we have to go to quickly to the many areas of discourse as
Right.
we have promised to our people. So let's first come down to this gentleman. You are a proud son of Dwarkanath Munshi ji, and he has been a civil servant, and he has
Well,
also remained president of India Kashmiri Samaj. Tell us about him, because as a son,
mhm.
how did you witness him? What were his engagements, and what are the great anecdotes he
Okay.
has transferred and
First of all,
conveyed to you?
Yeah, first of all, let me correct here. When I said, when you say civil uh, servant, it means that, these are the services, the allied services,
Allied services. It doesn't matter. I mean, he is a bureaucrat. He was a bureaucrat.
because he was a yeah, bureaucrat. But what I'm saying is that there is
Yeah, like ICS is there, or IAS, IFS is there,
ICS was,
postal services,
I think,
forest
post
services.
pre-independence or something like that. I don't know whether ICS.
ICS was there pre-independent. Like TN Cole was an ICS. TN
Yeah,
Cole was an ICS.
yeah,
Subhash
yeah.
Chandra Bose was an ICS.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
they were all great people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Right. Great. So that I just wanted to clarify that part, so that there's no.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't make any, because he was a bureaucrat. After all, he was a respected personality, a legendary person who was there helping. Because once I put this promo yesterday,
Mhm.
one of my senior friend, like an elder brother, Mr. M.K. Jalali, he immediately wrote with me a message. He said,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, I have seen this great man. He came down to Jagrati Niketan,
Mhm.
and he had a very innovative ideas which we never understood in those times. He was ahead of his time, and whenever we went to Delhi, we went to his place, and we had a lot of discuss, very warm, very open-minded, very intelligent, and very integrated into the Kashmiri ethos. So from there I could understand, oh, a man from Jammu, my friend, who's a very active
Mhm.
person, and he is telling these things, so certainly we must push
Yeah,
through
yeah,
his great son, proud son Ravi ji. What
yeah.
was his personality all about? Yeah.
Certainly a proud son. Certainly a proud son. Yeah, he was. Um, these days, calling somebody a perfectionist is basically is looked down upon. But perfectionist does not necessarily mean being perfectionist. It means that you tend to you are trying to approximate that situation. And he was that. He was a taskmaster. He was a taskmaster. He was a disciplinarian, and
Discipline.
but he had abundant love for uh, you know uh, I had I have a number of cousins, still in Delhi. Okay, and I cannot recall anyone that he did not love as much as he loved me.
Oh,
In fact, some of them he loved more than he loved me, in the sense, because he respected a lot of them. They were my friends, but they were, he found them very respectable, and he had love for everyone, in that sense. But as he was that, he was also a very firm, no nonsense kind of a person. Sometimes that would come in his way, but for most part, I thought that was a great attribute. To be honest, and to honest and be forthright in
forthright in what you're pursuance,
what you're
pursuance,
what you say and what you do, and that stood in good stead for him.
unification between act and thought. Yeah,
Yeah,
action and thought.
yeah. So he was that. Um, he was very respectful. Something I'll tell you about one of my uncles, who was 3 years older to my father. Even until the time, even when my father was 60 years old, whatever, he would not smoke in front of my uncle. Only 3 years old. He would, every time he would stand up if my uncle walked into the house or walked
It
into
was
the room. And that was the respect. That was the kind of a thing that he would do. And those are the things that we we learned from. Those are the valuable things. I don't know whether they have any value anymore in today's day and age, but uh, no, I don't want to be negative. I mean, I'm not saying that what happens today is
all not hunky,
is-
not
no.
good and not good.
Times change, and things change, and our habits change, our ethos change. But that was what it was, and that's what we had learned. You know.
And let's talk about him as a public person, because he was a bureaucrat, and he might have been rubbing shoulders with the known personalities of those times, and he must have been privy to the great witnessed some great historic incidents of those times, like the emergency happened, like then the
He,
Indiraji went away, and
yeah,
I mean
yeah,
they
yeah,
were defeated, and then she came back in '77. Then many things happened, and
yeah.
besides that, also many other stories. If you are, he has conveyed it to you and it's flown down to you,
I'm,
then certainly I would like that you share with us.
yeah, I'm privy to some of the stories, but there's a lot of stuff that he would not, because of his the
Confidential, this
reasons, he would not share with me. But uh, uh, Mrs. Gandhi was his Minister of Information and Broadcast. He was in the Information Broadcasting Ministry.
oh, I see.
So Mrs. Gandhi was his uh, what do
She
you
was
call
a
it?
minister at that time,
She was the
minister
minister earlier, before she became the prime minister.
earlier,
So,
before she became
so
prime
yeah,
minister.
there was an acquaintance there in that sense, because a Kashmiri officer, doing whatever the little that he was doing. So that there was something in that
Some
sense.
synergy between the madam, and
Yeah, but later on it became when he became the prime minister. The entire thing changed because of other relationships that got developed. Uh, in the families and all that. But during emergency, he was with DAVP. DAVP. I don't know if you know what DAVP is. Directorate of Audio and Visual Publicity.
oh,
That was during emergency. That was the uh, single arm of the Information and Broadcasting Ministry that was uh, charged with uh, doing the government's propaganda. Well, propaganda is a wrong name, but
conveying information,
the information to the country, to the entire country, you
entire
know,
country.
and with the pamphlets and all those kinds of things. This I don't even remember how many point programs it was, because there that got confused with the Sanjay Gandhi's some smaller number of program. It so Indira Gandhi had, say 14 or 12 or 13. So Sanjay Gandhi had 7 or 8 or something like that. So I'm not discounting that. I'm talking about, so this was being written and being spread out throughout the country, and that he was kind of busy doing that, and he was in charge of that. He
He
unlimited.
was commanding that
Yeah,
institution.
he was overseeing just about everything in doing that. So that's and as a result of that, he was called into Shah Commission a number of times for
Okay.
his involvement in Indira Gandhi's you know declaring emergency, and she did the atrocities that she had kind of committed as a result of being in the power in the power that she had assumed for herself during emergency. At that time, there were a number of officers who were kind of, very scared that, now what are they going to do? Because Shah Commission is going to ask a lot of questions, and what they did and what they didn't do. And in fact, one of the officers, when he was called, uh, he he died of a heart attack the
Oh,
previous night. Yeah, it was so intense. It was so intense.
interrogation was intense.
Yeah, interrogation and
It
all that.
was during Morarji Bai's time, no? Morarji Bai,
I don't know
prime
who,
minister.
who was
Morarji Bai was the prime minister. Yeah.
Morarji Bhai was the prime minister at that time. He might have
Yeah.
been. I don't know. But
And there is one great incident I came to know that Indira Gandhi was very smart politically. She had political bones. She
mhm.
asked Charan Singh was some, I don't know, he was some minister who was in charge, and what wrong he did, the experts say that she asked them, take me to the commission with the handcuffed,
Oh, I
so
see.
that handcuffing moved the entire euphoria, the entire the sympathy towards Mrs. Gandhi. So she asked them to put the handcuffs.
Okay. That
Anyway,
yeah, but those are some details that I am not aware of.
yes, yes.
But what I am aware of is that there
Your
used
father's point of view, your
yeah,
father's
yeah,
POV
yeah, yeah,
about
yes. So he was kind of called in a few times to testify. So most of the people who were coming, at that level, they would say, "Hey, we don't know, whatever the orders were, we were doing that. VC Shukla was the thing, and he was telling us do this, do that, and
PC
all that."
Shukla was a man. He was a very notorious man.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah, he was a dreadful.
very notorious.
They thought of him as a very dreadful person, but he was doing Indira Gandhi's bidding. There is no doubt about that. There are so many other people who were doing the same thing, but Vidyachalan Shukla happened to be the one who was kind of promoting everything. So my father was called, and he was asked. At that time, the chief prosecutor was P.N. Lekhi.
Okay.
Had you not heard the name P.N. Lekhi?
Yeah, I've heard the name P.N. Lekhi. I was very small.
He's the father-in-law of one of the current, BJP, parliamentarian.
Oh yes, yes. She's a very, very popular one. Her name is.
I don't know what some Lekhi. Her father-in-law was the chief prosecutor.
He's a very brilliant lawyer. Brilliant lawyer. Brilliant.
Yeah. Go on. Who? You're talking about the younger generation? Or
Madam.
Yeah. Oh no. They were. P.N. Lekhi was a very brilliant, very, very brilliant attorney, and he's the one who's asking all these questions, and people are kind of scared. So one of the questions that was asked, and this is it got to my mind. He asked, as I understand, I was out of the country, so I'm telling you something, from all the people.
What you heard from your father, yeah.
Well, her father and other people who would tell me about the things. That he asked him, okay, Mr. Munshi, you tell us one thing. Was emergency justified, and these point programs, what these are that you have been doing, and all those things. Is that good? Was that good? And with all the things that have happened in emergency and all that. So that is one thing that he had asked him, and it's a very double-sided question. He says no, then there's a problem. Then says yes, then there's a problem. So
what between devil and the deep sea?
Yeah. So he told him, he says, sir, one thing that you need to understand is that all these 18 points program
Sutra.
there is not a single one, if you look at it, that is not good. They're all good.
Fundamentally, they are good, but they are misused.
They were not implemented properly. The implementation was not wrong. Implementation was somebody else's thing. But if you as straight that he said, if I am given an opportunity, I would do it again.
Oh, so brave of him.
Yeah. So he every morning, whenever that he went there to the
Commission,
he would go and spend a couple of minutes with Mrs. Gandhi sitting there. Nobody would go and see Mrs. Gandhi. Nobody wanted to look at her, because they wanted to stay away from her. But he would
because she was the devil. She was the now devil.
Yes.
God-turned devil.
But he had this respect for her, and then he would go there, do her namaskar,
prostrations,
and do all kinds of things, and then move and say whatever that he had to say. So
that tells about his character, basic character. He was also the president of Kashmiri All India Kashmiri Samaj.
Yes.
So his coming was at the crossroads. When the community was at the crossroads, probably mass exodus had happened. There was a chaotic situation, uncertain, confused, depressed, fearsome. Everything was disturbed. So at that point of coming to an organization, we will talk about AIKS later, but I want to know his as a president, as a community man. There has been a complaint about because I had many programs. Amitabh Mattu had come, Vice Chancellor. I talk about we had talked about five Kashmiris, the
Okay.
five Kotri of Kashmiris. That we'll talk about when Darsab's topic will come.
Okay.
But it has been said by the general Kashmiris, they were saying that apart from few, most of the Kashmiri bureaucrats never entertain Kashmiris for their small things, small jobs, things get done. So they never entertain. But about, a personality like your father, and then he being the part of this great organization like All India Kashmiri Samaj, I really want to know his outlook and his contribution to the community as a president and otherwise also.
Okay. Sure. I'll certainly. Now, I think this was how did it come about? Is anybody's guess. It was in Jaipur in 1991 that it was soon after this 89-90
People exodus happened.
tragedy that took place. But prior to that, because the organization AIKS is has roots going back to 1980. That's when it started.
Yeah, that stories we know.
Yeah, that it started at that time. But there's a difference. It started as a cultural and kind of a society to provide some kind of a cultural, what do you call that, social and cultural, needs to meet that need.
You're talking about AIKS.
I'm talking about AIKS. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So we'll intermix the two. If you can start with the presidency of your father and his contribution as a community man, as a bureaucrat and a community man to the
I was coming to that. I was telling you because
we'll talk about AIKS at detail afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. So the question is what? The question is what was his contribution?
Contribution and feeling for the community, and what did he help out as a president? What was his contribution also?
When he was elected president of the AIKS, soon thereafter he started meeting with the people, in the government with Yashwant Sinha was Yashwant Singh or Yashwant Sinha, I don't know.
Finance minister?
Defense minister.
He was
one of the ministers, Yashwant.
Yashwant Sinha was finance minister.
Finance minister, I think that one, and a few others that he started meeting with them. He went around the not only to Jammu a number of times. That's a different thing altogether, but also he was kind of thinking in his mind that this organization, that AIKS, is basically a social organization. Now it has to, but the Exodus has kind of changed the terms of its what it needs to do for the betterment.
It's a volcanic thing, and unprecedented happened in such a huge number of people coming out.
They had to move.
Extraordinary situation.
Extraordinary situation. So they had to move away from not being a social and cultural, organization, to someone who would go actively looking for the betterment of the people who were suffering as a result of the Exodus. So that's why he was kind of, moving into the government and talking to people about that, and also going to different parts of the country, because his single focus was on education. Bata the only identity that Bata has is his education.
Yes.
And for that education, that he was worried, after he became the president, he was worried that the people who are living in Jagati and living in those areas, the young boys and girls are becoming indolent. They are not going to. They have no education. And this will be a couple of generations of Kashmiri Pandits will have no one educated, because of this, because no one knew how long it was going to take for the resettlement of the
ambiguous. It was a very ambiguous situation.
And even
nobody could make out anything out of this. Yes.
So that was his primary and principal goal in terms of providing the the educational background and support.
Help
And
them to get enrolled in the colleges and institutions and other
yes,
places.
yeah, and there are a number of. I don't want to step on anybody's you know shoes, but there are some indications. Some people say that Bal Thackeray and all those people provided um, these what do you call
Reservation of seats for
reservation.
Kashmir.
But they were done around this time. In Bal Thackeray was always having a very good
He had a great heart,
rapport with
a
with,
big
uh,
heart.
with the Kashmiri Pandits, and this became a reason. And the people who were
No, I
doing
came to know that even Sharad Pawar also helped a lot. Sharad Pawar,
everybody helped. Everybody helped.
everybody helped that time.
But
Whosoever was, whatever party they were all helping.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it is like a gift to the community for all time to come. They continue to have this kind of a.
Yes. Now this reservation is now probably now closed, but
Have
I
they
mean,
closed it? Have they closed it? I
I
don't know.
think uh, I think it has served its purpose now. People are now there are n number of engineering colleges everywhere. It's a mushroom growth of engineering colleges. Nobody goes into engineering. They are seeking for the arts now. So
Yeah, there's arts to go into the administrative
yeah,
services.
engineering is no more that it was a kind of a thing in those days. It got a job, it got an opportunity, you could grow. But now, I mean, 80% of the colleges are here and there. There are universities and universities and universities in every mall. Anyway,
Right.
that's a different story.
That,
What
that
I'm
is,
saying is that your father did a great service, and he was the person, as you said, he was person who worked at the back end, and he saw to it that at least these children, he had a concern,
yeah.
and he never exhibited it. It was not an ostentatiousness which he really loved, and he did it silently as a bureaucrat and as a president. I mean, there might have been other challenges also. We'll come to that story. Anything else to talk about your father, and any of the anecdotes,
He was
anything else?
just an ordinary person like any other person, but for me he was you know bigger than life kind of a person. Yeah. Like
No, but he,
yeah.
he was an extraordinary person, not an ordinary person. So I mean, it's nothing. I mean, every son feels proud of his father, and
Yes.
every father feels proud of his progeny.
Yes.
So that is how it happens. But then again, what you do for the contribution for the society, it is being that is something which helps the soul. I don't think it even if you are not remembered, how does it matter? People do the service for the sake of it. They
Yeah.
do it for doing it. Today the community is there. There must have been many people who might have helped in their own little smaller whatever capacities.
It is not a single person putting anything together, and then that becomes works as
And
a.
I remember Bakaya Sahu's interview was once that he said that I didn't have anything, and the people were not giving salaries, and then the whole thing. And Bakaya Sahib played a very. He was a chief secretary, probably he was a commissioner of rehabilitation at that time, but
Mhm.
he did a lot of work. People say ah Tankya or Kashmiris we are used to, but उन्होंने tents लाए उस time there was no money to buy the tents, so he got a contact of his in Calcutta. He told him that we'll pay you afterwards. So these things are they do it out of pain and concern for this whole,
Yeah.
not only anybody who's getting uprooted. It's not
Right.
Kashmiri Hindus or Muslims also. I mean, whosoever is uprooted, it's a matter of great sorry, great state of great. It's a blot on humanity. So we have a natural responses as a bureaucrats if we are sensitized enough.
But
So that's
if you
yes, sir.
allow me to go back a little bit, and one of your guests in the past has kind of indicated that those people who were there uh, in the were sitting in the seat of power and were not doing anything for the Kashmiri Pandits. I think that is a little overblown. I mean, that is not true. There are people who have helped, because a lot of people do not know how many people were helped, how many people have been helped by just about everybody in their small measure. You cannot have a place where you have 10 vacancies and 9 of them get filled by Kashmiri Pandits. That cannot happen. But there have been instances where mm, uh, some regret I I regret to say this, but uh, did not do well. Some of the people who were kind of helped in whatever little measure that they were. No, not everybody could be made into the manager of an organization.
Yeah, I mean, it
But
all
I
depends
was
on many other
I
factors.
was a recipient of the kindness and goodwill of a lot of people. He would not have been what he was unless there were people who were there to help him. So every bit helps. Everyone helps everyone else. But sometimes it is kind of becomes fashionable to say, hey,
Yeah, yeah, I mean
Kashmiri is not.
that is the psychological span,
Yes, yes,
psychological psyche
yeah,
Kashmiris have that we'll discuss
yes,
sometimes later.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
that we have inherited. That probably it is because of that 700 years of suppression and the Afghan rules, and we have become those.
yeah.
That is part of still that part of our psyche. Our younger generation are liberated now. They think differently.
One quick thing, if
Yes,
I could tell you,
yes, sir.
or do you want me to move?
No, 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 no. You can tell. You can tell.
About
Please.
this, helping Kashmir. I was just only over the weekend. Last weekend. I had some guests over at my place, and one of them used to work for Hero Honda.
Okay.
Okay, and we were just talking about helping Kashmiris, but as in whichever little way that. And then I was totally surprised. He and his brother both were working in Hero Honda, and they got 26 Kashmiri boys
Recruited.
into Hero Honda, and he told me that. He told me, that they had to go to the MD, Munjal,
Punjab.
to get them. 26 of them got employment in Hero Honda. So what I'm saying is that,
There are lot many people, not many untold stories, lot many people doing it. They do it for the sake of it. They do it because they want to do it.
right,
It's
right,
not
absolutely,
to score our, to make a qualification, to graduate into something, a
right.
philanthropist or something like that. There are lot many people in our community, and rather in the entire Indian diaspora or other world, there are lot many people still,
Mhm.
lot many generations still who do the work silently, who do the charity silently because they really want to do it. They don't want to have a propaganda about it and score about it.
One more little thing that I'll tell you, that there was there might be a misrepresentation that I have in the past sponsored a number of students back through KOA. I don't do that anymore. I'm doing certain things on my own, but not through KOA. So it might sound like as if I'm continuing to doing something through KOA. I'm not. I used to do that, sponsoring children, but not now. I have my own ways of providing, and then I'm deeply involved in the trust as well. So
तो वो तमा अख चीज मतलब युथे बटस मेलना अति दिल्ली मंज अति क्या कहवदामा ओस चलान बे क्या ओस cuisines अशा तमाई strictly can, but it was influenced by Punjabi cuisines as well. It was a mixed one. How would you celebrate the get-togethers?
I'm trying to remember what महाराज जी साढ़े चासम पूजा करें पंजे पंजे गए पता
अच्छा
कभी मिल लिए कभी कुछ मिठाई मिठाई हो गई and then you kind of assume certain
cuisines.
yeah वो और रिलेशंस में होते थे सबके सब तो मिल जाते थे और खाना तो वही होता था वो रोगन जोश हो गया तो मस हो गए तो ऊपर से अगर तुम कांच क्या होना चाहिए
Vegetarian damol.
वेजिटेरियन खौर थे कोशिश चौकस मंस you cannot do it for those certain days and all that. So those are kind of things. I would just go. I would go and say, hey, अगर तो menu में मैं क्या बताओ खौरियात मस, So I अब चटरावो तुम क्या चौक. So these are small.
Yeah, but that is what these small tidbits they make the culture. No, they are the basic important ingredients. They look very small, but yes, they are the great. And Kashmiris had a terrific wit and humor. My goodness, my goodness. I could, if you sit in front of I had one few friends. You could go to the gufaos of laughter. My goodness. Oh, हंस हंस के लोटपोट हो जाता, जान निकल जाती थी. So they have a typical this, This is because of they have seen this whole journey genetically from Afghans to the Mughals, and then finally
Yes.
suppression and limited resources, and
Yeah.
that's why the psyche has developed. But now there's a time for emancipation, not browbeating, not showing off.
Can you hear me
Emancipation.
well? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hmm.
Well, I'll go to this man now, the great
Yeah.
personality, the great
Hmm.
economist, and Delhi, who was one of the founder of Delhi School of Economics, and who was the principal secretary to the Indira Gandhi. He was part of the five, Panj Pyare, five
Yeah.
Kashmiri, the Kashmiri syndrome. Who he
Yeah.
was there in every paramount decisions of Mrs. Gandhi.
Yeah.
And they were this, I must tell all the people, they were not there because they were Kashmiris. They were there because DP Dutt, TN Koul, PN Haksar, PN Dutt, BK Nehru, they were not there because they were Kashmiris. They were there because of their brilliance, their ideas, their nationalistic approaches, their pain for the country. They were honest to the core. Yet, today I'm not going to take the topic of the Panch Pyara, but I'll go to talk about this man. And this is a very, 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 it amuses me rather. It makes me joyous to know that he has been your father in law. Let's talk about P. N. Dutt Sahab.
Yeah. Okay. What can we talk about that? uh,
The Marathi Zamtel, Timan.
Zam to ठीक, but the issue was that um, I got married and within 3 months I left the country.
Okay, that's good.
So my the interaction used to be with the whenever because he went to the United Nations also for
Yeah, he was in United Nations, on a very premier.
nations. So that's where we used to, because I was here, so we used to go there. He used to come here, and I met him, a number of times. And my children, he would always make sure that whenever, uh, because my daughters graduated from the Harvard, so he was a Harvard guy himself. So he would
He
take
was.
them around to show them कि ये तो ओसी आसान, ये तो ओसी आसान, ये तो ओसी आसान. So those are the things. And but a very quiet person, very quiet person, and Vanachana ki, you learn a lot by just observing. So that's what he would be observing, and and speak very few words here and there, and that's basically what that I my
Observation.
observations are. I cannot say that memories, because of course they are memories, but they are not the memories from the very very long ago.
And he had the synergy. It was not that one up man in the family, big bureaucrat. He was a man who would gel well with all of you, and the ethos was
Yes, yes.
there, and love and affection flowing. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I don't think that he had any aura of,
being
importance.
something.
Yeah, being something at all. Yeah, he and I have had a number of, sessions for hours together, that we would sit, and normally when he would come here, and spend time with us, with us. India में उस ज़्यादा both, he was out, I was out, and then he was out, and he would come here
Yes.
and all that. So he would tell us stories about all kind of shared some stories that about his interaction during the time that he was at the prime minister's in the prime minister's office. About some of the things which are already known to.
No, but I would like to, because it's a very, very close encounter. You
Yeah,
and your
yeah,
father-in-law, your wife's father. So we want to know this afresh. We want to feel the freshness of the story through you.
no,
With Indraji, the then prime minister. Yes.
yeah, he had a very cordial relationship with
Yeah.
Indira. Of course, that had to be there, otherwise, he would not be there at all. But there were times when Indira ji would not be very happy because something would be suggested before, which she didn't want to here, some of those things. And that may have something to do with things like Sanjay Gandhi,
Sanjay was the main,
Sanjay was one of the
who probably
Eastern
catapulted
socialism.
her from
Uh,
nobility towards this autocratic attitude and all that, because of
right.
weakness of son. Yeah.
Right. So, this one thing that probably stands out in my mind is about the Bangladesh war. At that time, I think the administration was planning to begin an assault on, a full-fledged, full-throated assault on
Oh my
the
goodness.
American, Pakistani people. But I think he kind of, looking at some of the things he told, we may have to wait for a few days because of what's happening in East, that that Pakistan is going to open a sector somewhere up north, and that should become the reason for us to go in, because we should not be initiating, and let them start, and they are going to do that, and that's exactly what happened. They opened some
They were waiting, and they were waiting till the time they wanted some action from Pakistan, then retaliate.
Pakistan, yeah. Even though they had already made the plans that they would have to do that, but that is one of the things
There
that
are great strategists like
yeah,
R.N. Cow, the
yeah,
Rajis,
oh yeah.
who created
They
Bangladesh.
were all together. Yeah.
Together, they were all
Yeah.
together.
So they were there, and then there one of the reasons that as I understood, I'm not going to attribute to him directly, but as I understood from our conversations, was that because there was a lot of questions that were raised about why was emergency even declared? Why? Now, Narayan, yeah, and was kind of doing
Raj
whatever.
Narayan and JP.
No, not Raj Narayan.
JP Andolan,
JP, and the student
Jayaprakash Narayan.
education, Jayaprakash, right? And वो students के साथ जो वो मिल के उन्होंने वो किया, and then some of their slogans were for the army to
She became dictatorial. She became dictatorial suddenly. I mean, because of.
Oh no, that's what that was the question. Why would that happen? Why was that happen?
Yes. Please let us know.
And that is the Jayaprakash Narayan and the students, and they were kind of instigating the army to revolt against the state. Kada arm chhod do, ye kar do. I don't know if you are fully aware of that.
Yeah, we have read all these things. We were very small in those times. Very small.
Yeah. So, but the explanation that which I understood was that ये आंदोलन जो है, this type of आंदोलन, mutiny, these were the tools before the partition, before independence. This was against an enemy of an outside enemy. These are not the tools to be implemented within the country when you are yourself. There are so many other ways of dealing with this situation.
Representing your anguish or your difference of opinion.
So I think I don't know whether that was valid enough or strong enough.
But they again say. Anyway, this is not a discussion. This will never end.
Yeah.
They again say that the fear psychosis was created by this coterie. It always happens, a coterie. Our Modi ji is one of the greatest prime ministers who doesn't have a coterie. He doesn't believe in coterie. Right. But the coterie, whenever the coterie surrounds a power center, It tries to create artificial things like fear and many things and rumors to keep the central power center amused and keep them engaged so that they are not they are not fired out. Yeah.
So that's basically what is J.P. Narayan, Jayaprakash Narayan was basically. He was also a very, health-wise, he was not doing too
I
well.
was not good. He was on dialysis and
Yeah, and that is what the other part of, but many of us probably would not know, is that Indira Gandhi was offering to provide him with all the medical services, and to that effect, uh, emissaries were sent to him. Ki bhai, you continue whatever you are doing, but the thing is that you are a leader, and you need to be
important
taken care of.
personality. He was a great
So
personality.
that was even offered, but he did not take it. He would not take it from Indira Gandhi. So those are the things. So
Anyway,
that's, yeah.
so how your father-in-law defined Indiraji as a person? I mean,
I
certainly he
think,
must have confided with you.
yeah, no, I think no, he would not directly tell me, how he defined her or something like that. I think there's quite a bit that he has already written in the book that he has.
Yes,
So
that book is very important.
yeah, so in that he has kind of revealed a lot of different things, but it for most part,
Hmm.
he uh, he he was very
Hmm.
appreciative of her, being on the scene, uh, for and her courage to stand up to वो जो थे वो जैसे कामराज
You're touching your wire probably. Your phone
and
still.
all those people who were.
Kamraj. Hmm.
Can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear
yes,
me?
now. Because
Can you hear me?
when you move your hand,
Okay, okay,
it
okay,
disturbs something. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Half my speech is through my hands.
No, no, you
So,
can use your hand, but don't touch the cord. Yeah, that is the whole thing.
नहीं, वो तो जो है ना कि
But it was the
I think
camera.
he
It
had,
was the camera. It
no,
was
he
the
was
camera.
very appreciative of. In short, he was very appreciative of. He did not have anything bad to say about her.
Because
Um,
yes, there might have been because she was a woman of substance and discipline. But later on, she
yeah,
went into
yeah,
this. She felt the fear, and then finally,
yeah,
probably the coterie. Ultimately, the coterie, not this coterie. This was the
yeah.
bureaucratic coterie. They were giving her. They created the relationship with
No,
Russia.
I know whom you're talking about. You're talking about Dhawan and all those people and all
Yeah,
that.
those people,
Yeah,
they destroyed her and they spoiled. I mean, they put the concoctions and this rumors all around, and all these things were created probably, and she was insulated probably by these people. Anyway,
yeah.
but one thing is for sure that I mean, Piyandar had a very special place in Indiraji's cabinet. And one, I would like to one question. Although you are not a person, I asked this question to Vijay Dar, DP Dar's
Oh
son
yeah,
also.
that is, yeah.
He was on my show, and Amitabh Mattu also gave a very brilliant. He's a very brilliant man and a
Yeah.
very articulate and very
Oh yeah.
brilliant, one of the visionaries.
Yeah.
But I would like to put this photograph here. It is said
Yes.
that they are all five paras, Panch Pyaras are here. Your father-in-law, then probably this is
Yeah.
P.N. Haksar, then
Yeah. Yeah.
T.P.
Yeah.
Dar, and
Yes.
T.N. Kaul, and all
Yeah.
others. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is probably this is about the Shimla agreement. So
Yeah.
Manik Shah told Indira Gandhi that they made monkey out of you. I do not understand. I have heard that P.N. Haksar deadly opposed this, this Shimla agreement where these facilities were given to this, the areas which we had won, they were given back to this, you know. So, but your father-in-law and some other guy, they said that they were interesting to give those areas which are occupied by India back to Pakistan, and that's why Manik Shah said to Indira Gandhi when they came out of the meeting that this they had made monkey out of you. Although P.N. Haksar had opposed it. P.N. Haksar, there
Okay.
are jotting notes about it.
Okay.
You have anything
Okay.
to say about this? Yeah.
I have no. I'm not aware of that. That monkey business. I'm not aware of that. But I think I understand the reasons why there are 92,000 or 90,000 prisoners of war had to be repatriated.
There were liabilities also on us.
Yes. That was
Also
first of all
liabilities.
one of the reasons that we were wanting to stop the Bangladeshis coming into our country was because of that we were already food shortage and all
Everything
the other
was
things were there. So and then now you have 90,000 people on our, and then we have a special responsibility to take care
feed
of them,
them, feed
to
them.
take care of them, and we cannot just leave them.
No, no,
So I think that was
I'm not talking about that account. I'm saying about
about
giving
the return,
area,
return of.
returns of the
Okay,
areas, which were very
yeah.
strategically very
I
important for the
I
country.
I would question the same thing. Why would that be so? I
Happen.
mean, yeah. I That would be a question
And
that
she
I
had
would.
the most brilliant. She had the most brilliant brains around. Ian Cole, Ian Huxer, Ian Dar, DP Dar. I don't think. I mean, ठीक है. I mean, there could be liberals. They could be adjustive. There could be the idea of more inclusiveness. But that doesn't mean
Mhm.
that you give something which is strategically very important. Anyway, that's another
Yeah.
discussion. I don't think you can reply to that.
But I don't
But
I
that
don't
is.
even know what Vijay Dhar had to say about this, or
He has said
what he
that
said.
those situations, he defended, he said that situations in those times were like that. You cannot decide because when the time is passed by and after decades or 2 decades, you cannot think about any historical event in retrospection because situations were different at that time, conditions were different, and there might have been some, other things. Anyway, as a
Yeah.
countryman, I also feel bad that at least we should have not given it
No,
back.
no, no.
But anyway,
There must have been some very valid reason. After all, if you and if I, with very small mind, can wonder why would that happen, then obviously they would have probably also thought about it. But I'm sure that there might have been some considerations which could be pressures from the United
yes,
States, probably,
yes,
maybe,
yes, yes.
maybe
That could
something
be the
else.
reason. That
That
could be.
that could be one of the
That
reasons.
could be the possible reason.
And
That
and
could
and then also, if not give it up, we are hoping that you cannot win with a liar. And Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was a liar. That
be possible.
he was a liar. So that's my personally, well, that's how I feel. So everything that he promised, he went totally against that. Okay,
Yeah, that is
but when
probably
you are having an international uspe, when you are
commitments,
making a certain pact, that has to be that
honor.
has to be honored. So some of the things that they never wanted to, he went back and then started, creating the whole problem again.
That
But I
is
thought
the
it
that
was
is
that, that would be, yeah, whatever.
Munshiji, that is probably the state. The Pakistani state of mind is like that only. Everybody, anybody in the position of power would think like that only. I think before when he died, finally he became victim of his own that concoction what he created, and
Yeah,
then
yes, yes,
finally
yes. Yeah.
Zol got him. I mean, he was hanged, and he wrote that. But I remember that line: "न वो बदले न दिल बदला न दिल की उम्मीदें बदली न वो बदले न दिल बदला न दिल की उम्मीदें बदली मैं कैसे एतबार इनकलाब आसमां कर दूं." So finally, he had to succumb to that. Anyway, so I would like to say you talked about his book in Indira Gandhi, The Emergency and Indian Democracy.
Yeah.
So you must have some clue. You are an erudite person, well-read person, exposed and very close to P. and Dar, your son-in-law, like son. So, what could be the reason for writing this book? Was it to clarify his own stand, or was it espionage something which was not known, which was not in the public domain?
N- I don't think there. I don't think any of these people would do anything to justify themselves or their actions,
Yes, sir, they were
because
great.
there is nothing. Because I don't. If you read, I don't know if you have read the book or not. There is absolutely no justification for his personal actions or the actions of anybody else.
What else
What
is the book about?
this is only the what exactly happened as he saw it.
Okay. Witness.
Yeah. So there is, you see, uh, there are in journalism there is one thing which they say that good journalist would never let the person whom he is interviewing know which party does he belong to, Democrat or Republican or whatever, and because he is only with a single mind, he's only going to extract information from the guest and nothing else. He's
So
not
you
going to
could
say
say that
what is.
this would be more of a memoir of his
Yeah,
services
absolutely.
to Madam, and
So many
then the
first
title,
pages he has only
the
about
emergency.
his childhood, his very beginning of his how humble beginnings.
There's a mention of the emergency in the title. That's why I asked the
Yeah, yeah.
emergency.
No, no,
Yeah.
because
Anyway.
it had something to do with Indira Gandhi, because that he happened to be like that way. But other
Okay.
than that, I don't think because he has devoted a lot of time or pages to his humble beginning. If you
Okay.
go through that, the
I
school,
will read.
what he did, where he did, what his father was, he was a physical
Biographical.
therapist.
It's more of a
He was a
biographical.
Yeah, he was a physical. He was doing those kinds of things. So it's not. I don't think that he has. Uh,
Anyway, we'll just
right.
we'll
Let me decide.
depart on this topic, and I'll definitely read this book. Certainly,
Yeah.
I am very proud of. I must tell you again and again, these Panj Pyaras, Panj
Mhm.
Kashmiris were not there because they were Kashmiris. They were immense intelligence, immense brilliance, and they were so loyal to the country. They were the great nationalists. They created the Soviet Union. That so today we are proud of Soviet Union friendship. They created the friendship. It is because of P.N. Huxer, because of P.N. Dar, because of T.N. Cole, and you could deal with a kind of havoc, like a very. America was a great power in those times, and we didn't have a great relations with them. And dealing with that, you had such kind of a brilliant minds around. They were most brilliant people, and we are very proud of them, all the five, including B.K. Nehru, for their services to the nation. And they were selfless people. P.N. Dar Saab got the Padma Vibhushan award. But when I said that P.N. Huxer refused to receive the award, he said to Indira Gandhi that I'm not going to get award for which my work. So they were great, honest people of integrity, people of level-headedness, people of. I wanted to ask. I will sum up with this P.N. Dar's story now. I would like to ask a academician, a brilliant academician, an economist, a professor, who was the founder of the Delhi School of Economics, and how this man finally gravitated towards the inner coterie policy-making body of Indira Gandhi. What could happen? The reason. I
How
mean,
did it happen? How did it happen?
yeah, yeah.
I
Just
can okay. I can. No, nobody will tell me directly why it happened. I went from here to here or do whatever.
okay,
But the issue is that he first became the economic advisor. He was the
okay,
economic advisor to the government of India. I think to Mrs. Gandhi, the economic advisor. And then from there, when P.N. Huxer was about to leave, then he recommended him to be the principal secretary at that time.
oh, I see.
And that is how he went into that. Okay. But one little thing that I'll tell you that might be interesting to you and may not be widely known, that Sardar Manmohan Singh was his student.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah.
The man who brought this revolution of
Yeah. And
liberalization,
yeah. He
he
was
was
his
student of
student.
P.N. Dar.
He was,
Probably he might have had those ideas, but it might have not worked in the socialistic environment in those times, which
look,
was
I'll
reinforced
tell you
into
another
the.
thing. I'll tell you another thing, which I cannot. There's nothing that I can prove with that. But the first call that he made after he became the finance minister was to Professor Dhar that I will need you to help me out.
Oh, good. That's so wonderful. Great personalities. We are very proud of.
Yeah. But yeah, whatever it was,
And his wife was also a singer and a writer,
yes,
Sheila.
yes, yeah,
Tell us
Sheila Dhar.
something about her. Yeah.
Yeah, Sheila Dhar. In fact, she was also my father's colleague.
Oh, I
and
see.
and I knew her from my childhood. I used to go to her office because my dad and my Sheila, that they had offices adjoining each other, and they
Vicinity.
had a
Yeah.
small window in between, and I used to
Oh,
go from there to there, and she would take me, and so I knew her from my uh, when I was maybe 7 or 8 or 10 years old.
so,
Yeah.
what are your memories about her? She was a homemaker and a singer and a public
Yeah, she
figure.
was she was singer and very. और वो जब भी मैं उनके यहाँ पे जाता था तो she would she treated me very very well, and she used to treat my wife exceptionally well. Yeah.
Unless and until you have a right woman in the household, you cannot become, even if you are eminent, you are brilliant,
Mm.
you cannot go to the public life. I mean, spending most of your time. So certainly she must have had the great merit in her to have a personality married to a personality, and be with him in his all, shades, sine
She
waves.
she was a very brilliant woman herself, very brilliant woman herself, and a very talented woman. In terms of she not only that she could sing, but she was an all-rounder.
Hello, great man, Dr. Vishnu Hakim and Radha Hakim's son, Piyandar, who studied in, you know, great
Mhm.
schools, and then went to Hindu college and became the principal secretary. And he contributed to this great nation. Salutation to him.
Thank
I'm really, I feel great about these gentlemen. All these PN, RN
thank you.
Cow and everybody.
Yeah.
Selfless
Yes.
people, they work, the
Yes.
brilliant
Yes.
ideas, intellectuals, nationalists, core humanists, you know.
Absolutely.
So let's move ahead to AIKS. So we are. I have heard about the story of AIKS, that the Lucknow Pandits, because we had Kashmiri Pandits lived in all parts of the before
Country.
partition, divided India. They lived in Lucknow, they lived in Lahore, they lived in Jaipur, Calcutta,
Calcutta. Yeah.
Meerut,
Allahabad. Mhm.
many places, and there were some association formed in Lahore, and they were formed in Lucknow, and then also in Delhi also. So we had some
Mhm.
picture here. I don't know whether I have that with me. Is some picture here? Yeah, this is a picture of probably Delhi, Kashmiri Pandit, New Delhi. It's something 1930s or for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
I've
So
seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I saw it
I've seen
somewhere, and
that.
I
Kashmir
put it there.
Records basically
Yes,
does
yes.
that. Yeah.
And then we have this Lahore Kashmiri Pandit Association. This is Kashmiri Pandit
Mhm.
Association Lahore, and
Oh,
we
I
had
see.
Calcutta also. I covered when Justice, uh, the first justice, first judge of the first Indian judge of the British colonial rule. That was Mr. Pandit. He was a great man. I brought a great granddaughter to my show. He had two wives, one Bengali and one Kashmiri, and the Bengali, she was the great granddaughter of the Bengali. So let's talk about now All India Kashmiri Samaj. So I have heard the story that the need and necessity was felt by the Lucknow people under the Justice Karju, and there were Justice Vanchu and Mr. Sharga. They were, but Vanchu became the first president, and the Sharga became the general secretary, and it was held. There was a need was felt that at least we have the rejuvenation of this cultural, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
across the
Social and
globe,
cultural kind
across the
of,
country. Yeah.
yeah.
Please tell us
Yeah.
something about its
Well,
history.
it's the same thing. I mean, I think they felt that they needed to have somebody. Every time that you are away from home, you always feel that you need to have some people around you with whom you can kind of identify. And that is perhaps one of the reasons why they wanted to have cultural ties with each other and social ties with each other, and that is what it all started with. I think in 1980, and it was, I think it was done in somebody's house, maybe Justice P.N. Bakshi's house or something like that. I don't know, but
Yes,
that would be something that you can ask your very good friend and Dr. S.N. Pandita, because he
yes,
is an encyclopedia of history. So
he's a very brilliant man. very brilliant.
yeah, definitely. Yes, he is.
I
But
brought him in this on the Western scholarships on Kashmir, Kashmiri literature. Those are very extraordinary things. I mean, what we
no,
see
no,
nowadays, our intellectual level in Kashmiris have fallen slightly, and
yeah.
we still have very few people like S.N. Pandita who he qualifies to that, that
Yeah,
armor and that.
I have always maintained that he's an encyclopedia of this, and he has a very vast knowledge about almost just about everything. So that is, but again, for the fear of not being, corrected, I would think that that is what the Kashmiri Pandits wanted to do at that time, and then have a get together and all those things, and that kind of evolved into the present day thing. But there was not much of an appeal probably beyond certain limits, and then All India Kashmiri Samaj came, and then and they wanted to have all, and they floated the idea of putting all of them together under one umbrella and all that, and that is how it kind of automatically spread out to different parts of the world as an affiliate of the All India Kashmiri Samaj.
It has done a tremendous work, especially when we talk about this migration in 90, and the trust was also. You were also the founding member of the trust.
I
Trust
was,
was
yeah.
what was the need to build up a trust?
Okay,
Because it was
okay. One of the things in your introductory, segment, you kind of indicated All India Kashmiri Samaj and its trust. No, these are two different organizations. They do not
okay.
have anything to do with each other. It just so happened that the trust was made as a response to the calamity that had befallen the Kashmiri community,
Committee.
and to take care of the women and children, women with the making them self sufficient, and instill the confidence of being able to do things on their own. Silai ki machine hui ya wo hua ye hua, those are the things. And then children, the education part. So that was in response to the 89-90. Before that there was nothing like that. uh, and the trust, it just so happened that at that time my father was the president of the AIKS, and he started the AIKS trust, okay, as a separate entity, only catering to the needs. And but just because that AIKS name stuck with it, and there was a reason why that name was given to that trust, was because it would provide an instant recognition to. And if you look at it, that the people who were the founding members, there were almost 100 of them, 99 or 100 members.
Yes, yes, I could see this.
And all of them are basically the ones who were the shining stars of the Kashmiri community. You understand what I'm saying? So they who may not necessarily have been the members of the All India Kashmiri Samaj, but they invested their time and money and all those things for
For the
for
betterment and
building this trust for. And it has its own constitution. It has its own. It is separate. It's separate. Only just that 4 letters happen to be the same as AIKS, which was mistaken by the subsequent administrations, and thought that and have tried in the past to put them together, or just take it over, as their own. Trust had sufficient funds, but it has also fallen into
anyway,
that's a
we
different
don't,
thing.
we don't want to go to the politics part of it. And
No, no, not politics, not about, but we are reviving it. That's what I'm saying. It is
okay,
getting revived.
that's very good. That's a wonderful thing. What I'm saying is that let's come to AIKS only. And there are great people who have worked, like your father was there, and we have a great personality like Mr. Cow. He was there. Uh, and uh, Let me know the people in the chronology, the personalities who have been associated as president or as important positions of the All India Kashmiri Samaj.
Okay. Well, we know that Justice Bakshi became the first president of
Yeah,
that was, I think, in 1980 or something like that. That's when it happened.
1980s around. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then he was kind of followed by one Shri Nandlal Dutchi, and then there was Brigadier Madan, and then came my father. So after that was late Padma Shri Jain Kaul.
Ah, yes, Jain Koul,
Yes,
great person.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of respect
Jain
I have
Kaul.
for him.
So he was, and I happen to know him also from the childhood. Yeah, he used to hold my finger, and we used to, because he and one of my uncles used to be working for the MCD together, Municipal Corporation of
Papa
Delhi.
ji.
Babaji. Yeah, and he would hold my finger and take me to different places also, to see some TV or some movies and all that. That's what they used to show around in the city. So
I have, I have heard in even during this migration, all the people from the remote villages or any part of the Kashmir who moved into the Delhi and they were bewildered where to go, what to look for. And Jain Koul was at their beck and call, and he used to ring his own people, on probably his prodigies, and he would ask them. They were vice presidents of the companies or on very important positions. He would
you're
ask
talking
them
about yeah, okay, you're
yeah, he
talking
would
about
he
his
would he would
company.
he would go out of way and once there was a congregation somewhere in the northern Delhi and the Kashmiri colony was building up something like that and then Jain Koul came and he gave a speech to the locals. He made them understand about this great community. This is not an ordinary community. So Jain Koul was a friend. He was a humanist and he created SOS and he did so much service to the community. And we have this Parvat there as well as in Faridabad.
Yes, 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 yes.
Temple was an outstanding personality. Outstanding personality. I have great regards and reverence for him.
Yeah. Mhm.
And people do not. We celebrate these small. I don't say nobody is small. These political people and here and there. We must respect the people who really change the world.
Is
SOS
there
is a
anybody? I'm not aware of anybody who is who doesn't share your
no, no.
views
When it
on
comes,
him.
the public display, when it comes to the public display, people do not know. People do not know that Jain Koul is a distinguished person. He's a different person. Anyway, let's move on. That's my emotion for him. I can say. So I would like to say. Then again, you were saying, and after Jain Koul's up, yeah.
Was yeah, Mr. M.K. Cow.
MK Cow is also. I've heard this great man because I have heard during his bureaucratic times where people would normally like to insulate themselves and they don't have time. Rather, they are busy with their own things, and there could be other reasons as well. But MK Cow is a person who was approachable and he tried his level best to help. That's why he was popular among the people. And what was his role and Jain Koul's role in All India Kashmiri Samaj?
I would not know much about.
Okay.
No, Jane Cole, of course, I have some kind of, because soon after that. And then, but Kaus Ka, I would not have much understanding of what was his role. Not role. He was the president of the All India Kashmiri Samaj. But what are the defining issues that he might have tackled? I am not aware of it. I'm sure that there were, but I'm not aware of them.
Anyway, I think just I will have small because you were part of this. So your father was part of this whole conglomerate organization, such a great organization, premier organizations of the
I'm also a part
Kashmir.
of it now. Yeah, I'm
You
a
are
chapter
still the
member.
part of it. You are continuing and you are part of your philanthropy also. You are doing KOs association. You are very active, sensibly, very rooted Kashmiri Pandit. And but I would like to say, in today's time, we have become lagooned organizations. We don't have a constituency, first of all. We don't have in democracy, what works is an electorate constituency. We don't have a constituency. We have successful pundits in US, in Europe, in America, and here, and bureaucrats, and some of them, and some doing business and now coming to the business sector as well. But we do not have a, you know, electorate constituency. In absence of that, these great slogans, survival is okay, culture is okay, and it's not an ordinary thing to preserve the culture from generation to generation. It requires a lot much effort and lot much, you know, passion to do that. But apart that, this divergence of organization A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and then the whole idea. How do you see the future of this Samaj, Kashmiri Samaj, given in the panorama of the canvas of the present environment and the circumstances, and what we basically temperamentally are, and how divergent we are? Yeah.
I think we have, again, in my opinion, over the years, because of the tragedy that befell us, we have become very suspicious of everybody else. we are we want to be the, and this is an inherent issue, not negative or positive. I don't know whether it's good or bad, but in certain cases, being a leader is a good thing. But when everybody wants to be a leader, that it in itself is not good. And that is what is happening right now. There are
mediocrity comes up, props up. Mediocrity props up.
Hundreds of people are, everybody thinks of himself or herself as a leader, and we do not want to follow any particular person. Now, the organizations have also, in my opinion, again, I don't want to upset any of your viewers in saying this. I was looking at, I'm a pattern member of AIKS. I was going through, sometime I was looking through the things, the organization will never miss an opportunity to say, we are the apex body of everybody else, is under us. Authoritarian kind of a connotation. And that is something, you don't win hearts by telling others that you are smaller than us and you are part of us. We are the umbrella.
Probably it is for all other organizations as well, which we have. They all say it the same way, similar way.
I don't know, but they're saying.
How do you subscribe? How do you subscribe to this idea that we must have a separate land? It's a fairy tale story.
You are touching a subject of Panun Kashmir, basically.
With all respect to everyone. With all respect to everyone.
Yeah. No. I have some very firm views on this one. Many of us will not like, but they are my friends also with whom I have total disagreement. Recently I was in a panel, not as a panelist, but I was invited to attend, where one of the leading activists of the roots in Kashmir was the chief guest, and he was being asked questions.
Who's he? What's his name?
We'll leave it for the time being.
Okay, fine. I don't know many of them. I don't know.
No. You would know, but you would excuse me if I don't want to offend you, but But the thing was that I asked him a few questions. The guy is exceptionally brilliant. Bada hi brilliant insan hai wo. I have a lot of regard for him. Only one thing, that and for the past 35, 36 years, they are stuck with one idea of having a separate homeland of Panun Kashmir. And my question to him was, where do you see this Panun Kashmir to be implemented as a land? And he said, right there, I said, that will be two things. One is, it is landlocked. Okay, all around you will be the people that you are trying to stay away from. Okay, you are giving credence to Jinnah's slogan that Hindus and Muslims cannot live together. Forget about that part. That is, that you are giving credence to that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
okay.
another that's
Yeah,
another
that's another thing.
discourse.
But the
That's a
fact
long
is,
discourse. We cannot
but
talk
the
about how
tell
that works.
tell
We don't have
me.
parallels. Yeah.
Yeah, but tell me, no, what I'm saying is that, I'm philosophically thinking about those things. These are the two things, meeting together, something very similar. But that's for me, not for others. But tell
Yeah.
me, when you put this map that you have drawn of Panun Kashmir and you impose it on the heart of Kashmir, say a valley, those who are living in that area, where will they go, those Muslims? Where are they going to be going? They have hundreds and thousands of mosques. They have their businesses.
Yeah,
They live there. Where
I
are
agree.
they going to be? Who is going to displace them? And how are you finding the security? What do you have? Why are you?
They have a drafted plan for that, and they have a right to do so. They have a drafted plan for that, that they want their union territory. It will be union territory and something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that, the government can protect. Again, it is something that I feel. Perhaps, okay, let me pass this, because we can have a conversation about this some other time.
No,
But
no, but you can come up with your own
okay,
idea. As
no, no, no.
they are,
The
they
thing
are,
is,
they are, they are
the
they are
issue is
entitled to their
that
view. You are
we,
entitled to your view. Yeah.
I believe, I go back and look at Sardars six. If what happened to us had happened to Sardars, and six from Kashmir, Srinagar, would have moved to Jammu, today they would not have been asking for uh, government support. I am 100% positive about that. They would have found the way to, and they have all flourished. Their children are doing so very well. They are doing well, but they are still, because we are a condemned community, in the sense that people look down upon us. They think that we are the ones who take unnecessarily money from the government, for our subsistence, despite the fact that we have businesses, we have everything. There are few people. And the people who are lost in this, all of this, are the ones who stayed back in Kashmir. They are the ones who are suffering most. They
Yes, I
stood.
know. Vijay Sazawal was on my program, and he said that around 5,000 or 8,000 Kashmiris who live in Valley, they are in a very sad state of affairs. I mean, they need also to be looked after because they are part of our community and something like
We
that. Yeah.
totally forgotten them. They have been totally forgotten. And they are the ones who are the heroes.
No,
Heroes.
no. Even if, sir, even if Raviji, even if their idea, whatever fancy it had, idea, even if it was there, but what is the basic what we have done in 35 years to realize that idea? Has any corridors of
We have,
power accepted it, or
no,
have we capacity and a might, like you say, Sardis? We went to the roads, we enrayed the roads, and we created something. We don't have a constituency of your own. Your likes on your Facebook accounts, but they are 5 or 10 and narrowed down to 15. You are a leader. And what is happening to this community? And another thing, chronicle disease with this community has always been that even Shivnarayan Potedar, personality like Shivnarayan Potedar, his children were not given marriage by the community. He was not taken in a good taste. He was not accepted even in those times. Those times were better. And for that matter, this man who was a great reformist who created this, this change of this foreign attire to the sari. That when great reformist, great this personality, Kashyap Bandhuji. He was not respected. I talked to other Kashmiri Pandit, because democracy, what matters is the majority. But what I'm saying is that I have no difference of opinion of anybody. Anybody can think whatever they want.
yeah.
Certainly, district in Kerala, there's a district in Kerala which is a community Muslim district, because it was made for the purpose of protecting them. And there is a I had made written one documentary also. NC Kachar Hills is an Assam, one district in Assam, which gives an ethnic, it's a direct control with the center. There's one district over there. But they are like they are the districts. They are the small provinces within the state which have a direct control of funding and other organizations. There is an arrangement like that which is part of the country. But I mean,
The arrangement is basically it's faulted.
yeah,
It is faulted. In a
it's superficial.
multicultural society that is in the US. You have where recently there's one
Mhm.
place where only the whites can buy homes, nobody else. So those are the things. But my
We are getting
question to
out.
you,
We are getting out of time. I wish all the best to them. But let's come back now to your US journey.
okay,
You have been uh, little Kashmir in Florida. This is a very
yeah,
romanticizing word, and we have little Kashmir everywhere. And I
no,
want, I want, I want. I had this conversation with great people from US, and I always wanted to know the whole story in '60s how Kashmiris went there, the Kashmiri Pandits went there, and I have stories of Khosa and many people. KOA president was also there as my guest earlier, and Jeevan Jutsi was there, and many people.
great
I really
person.
want to know. I really want to know about this. Little Kashmir in Florida.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it
It's a
all about?
the story goes back to about 20 years ago. 20 years. Kashmiri Overseas Association (KOA) has a camp. Every year they plan a camp. 4 or 5 days. They go someplace and stay there, and just as an interaction between the Kashmiri community, and talk and eat and all those kinds of make merry, and that's it. 4 days later they go back home. So I used to I there was once 20 years ago, I think,
Long.
Hershey in Pennsylvania. We were attending the KOA function, that gathering, and the president at that time, I'm trying to remember his name. He knew that I come from Florida, so
Okay.
he also had an inkling that I'm in the construction business.
You're a structural engineer, a master's from
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah, he asked me. He says, "Hey, uh, Talmara Akam Kurta, we are all aging. Why don't you find some place where we can all have some houses, nearby, and make it into a little Kashmir kind of a thing? So everybody's around there. They retire and they buy the house there. They live there. Everybody's well off there. So, and they can do
Yeah,
that. And
rich.
ये बना देता है, तो अगर so when I came back, and this thing struck my mind. That's a brilliant, a very pleasant thing, to do. And if we were able to do that, that would have been wonderful. इससे पहले भी, I think several years before that, also there was some kind of proposal in the Washington D.C. area, I believe, Maryland, Washington D.C. area, but that probably fizzled out. Then this was the second attempt. So I was told that अगर करीब के, fortunately, very close to my house where I live, just 25, 30 years, 30 miles away from where I am, there was a big, huge construction company that went bankrupt. And they had done a lot of infrastructure work. And for miles, acres and acres and acres together. So I worked on getting certain lots. No, I didn't buy them, but because it was not, I was trying to do for the community, that because all those things they would have to buy. I would provide, I would facilitate with every which way that I could. So what I was doing was I kind of located and identified about 100 homes, 100 lots near to each other, and then मैं उस दिमाग में कि आख lot कर रहा हूँ ताल बनाओ so ये तुलमुल हुए area with a pond, and
Paprika.
there are some stream there's a stream also, set of streams all around. So that was in my mind, and I kind of wrote to him and put it in the Kashmiri KOA के magazine था या कहीं पे भी. So it was advertised that this is happening. Whoever wants, please contact Ravi Munshi for further information, and he'll help. So far so good. I was very excited about doing this, and I had done a lot of research about the things, and with some people I had kind of isolate kind of located some 100 house lots. But yeah, Maraga, okay, then after that, once I started, then the inquiries started coming in, and then inquiries were coming in a way that I didn't expect that they would. That what is in it for you? What do you want out of this? And or here may want ki at kuch thickness I see asphaltage. It catch things which were
That is
which were
typical of our community. That's
no, they were not even they would
very
not
disturbing.
be. They have to buy first. I said, you come on over,
That's not the
look
spirit.
at
That's
it.
not the Punjabi spirit.
Huh?
Punjabi. That's converse to what Punjabi spirit is. Punjabis don't
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
these
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
They
No,
get
no,
down,
you
build a colony, and
come
then yeah.
over, come over. I'm very close by. I live there about 25, 30 miles away. Stay at
Oh,
my place, go visit, look at this. I will only facilitate. I cannot. Then there's another friend of mine who's a very sensible person, and I respect him here. I have a lot of respect for him. Uh, and then he said, "Hey, Ravi, इससे क्या शुक्र कर रहा है? This is not the way to handle this." I said, then what should I do? I mean, if they want to help, he says, the he says you have to do just the opposite. He said that I am going to sell. If you try to tell them that this is your business, then they will come. If you tell them, hey, I'm doing a community service,
uh,
nobody's going to come.
they'll raise
So
eyebrows,
so
questions,
so
precariousness.
yeah, so the very went waste with this little Kashmir in Florida. Gulf fizzle out tapori. So
Oh my God,
that was the story. That was the
that's a
story of.
dream story and dream
And you
project.
know what? At that time, the problem was it was no lot was more than $5,000.
Oh
No lot, and today that each lot is over $250,000.
my goodness.
But
So
we
as collectively we fail, as individually we boast about many things, but yes, that's a tragedy we are encountering, and we lack that spirit. I don't know from
yes,
where it comes, perennially, maybe from
it, it,
the
it,
oppression we had and whatever
it,
it is, but we don't change. Our next generation is brilliant. They are different. I feel they are different. We must at least guide them properly and tell them the proper positive stories and invent the heroes. Like I said, Panch Pyare, they are the heroes of the community. We need to invent the heroes, not mediocre Tataji, Papaji. Everybody, Papaji, Tataji is fine, but we need to invent heroes. We need to inspiring stories, and that's how the community develops. We need a fighting spirit. Anyway, sir, these are all, I mean, the sermons.
yeah, yeah,
Everybody can make it. So we'll close it down. And anything you
yeah.
want to say before anything which is left out, you want to say something?
No, the only thing that I can say is that I know and I understand that very outstanding people come to your show. It's a very valuable show. Outstanding people come to your show. But you have also created a balance between those outstanding people and some people like me who are just ordinary. And once in a while, you bring them also over
सोची वैसा बगर तारीफ तो ही तुम्हारा
no,
show.
no, 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 no. What I'm telling,
No,
this is.
I'm just lighter vein. You are not an ordinary. The only ordinary person in this universe is that is Jugal Koul. So I want to all extraordinary people to come and inspire, and you inspire. You inspired. Your story is inspiring. Your contribution is inspiring. You are not an ordinary person, sir. So I'm just an
Thank you.
interlocutor, just an ordinary. But before we go, I have a very lighter vein. I have started this now because now I'm transferring this to a Jugal Koul hat show, honest, authentic talk show. So we'll have a rapid fire. Define your. It has to be one liner or one word.
Yeah,
Define
marvelous.
yourself. Define yourself.
I'm an honest and upright person.
That's wonderful. Movies you like? The best movie, West and the East, Orient and the Occident.
Okay, the East Gulf, so Hindustan का ना East, Mother India.
Orient मारा पूरा.
हमारा वेब चलेगा Mother India. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
That's also one.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
West Christmas क्या choose?
And Sound of Music.
Huh?
Sound of Music.
Sound.
Sound.
That's my goodness. Charles Bronson.
Oh no. That was Plummer. Sound of Music was Plummer.
Okay. So that's wonderful. Best city you love?
Best city I love. Mara, I love Delhi very much.
That is impression.
Despite all its faults, I still
Delhi,
love
Delhi.
it. It has a soul that is I cannot wash away from my heart.
One regret in life.
One regret in life that I did not, despite the fact that I was selected, I did not join the army.
Yes, I heard about it. You joined the army.
Yeah.
Best melody singer. Indian, Western?
वो melody singer क्या वो ghazal singer है Jagdish Singh is my favorite.
फिल्मी बहुत सुना कहाँ पसंद?
हाँ फिल्मी बहुत अच्छी सारी पसंद में ना जान I sing also but
Rafi and Kishore?
Rafi Kishore, yes, all of
Manna
them.
Day.
Yeah, both of them.
Akhnafra.
Huh?
Akhnafra, one person at the summit.
Oh, then you have Manna Day. Then Manna Day is
Manna Day, beautiful.
Yeah.
O meri Zahra Zabi.
Yeah.
तुझे मालूम नहीं.
अरे बेसिक कमाया लागा चुनरी में दाग.
लागा चुनरी में दाग छिपाऊं कैसे. That's the classic, beautiful song. And West में, Western?
वेस्ट में तो मेरे को ये सब बंदर ही लगते हैं.
सिंगर तो पुराने अमेरिकन सॉन्ग्स आर वेरी गुड, ग्रेट सॉन्ग्स.
या होंगे वो डीन मार्टिन, वो डीन मार्टिन का ही है डीन मार्टिन का ही है कुछ होगा. या there is one song that I love very much, but I don't even know who the singer is. That is now that the rain has gone and the everything is clear now that rain has gone.
That's good.
It's going to be a nice day or something like that. Beautiful song.
You didn't have any notion on the bands like ABBA and Carpenter and those.
I loved all of them. Yeah,
Dancing Queen. Money must be funny. It's a man's game.
No. Switch no.
Dancing Queen.
Huh? But
ABBA का है Dancing Queen. You are the dancing queen, rich and sweet, young and sweet, only 17.
Yeah, okay.
Best author and the book.
Best author and the book. Mara, I don't read a whole lot of books, but Rohinton Mistry.
Okay.
The balance of something like that. I don't remember it was the name of the movie was Balance, Rohinton Mistry. Okay, and an English author with the I'm trying to remember I don't remember neither name of the author nor the name of the book, but it has impressed me so much. That is about the Black history, how they were treated, from time immemorial. Yeah. And what they have gone through.
Your love for India, 1 to 10, mark.
10. I have 10. If 10 is the highest, the closest. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Ideal politician, post-partition.
Post-partition, the ideal. Where there or here?
Both sides.
Post-partition वहाँ पर. I was highly impressed. I'm highly impressed by Modi.
Modi is the.
But there was a time. Of course, Modi was not on the scene at that time. But Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Great poet and great politician, statesman.
Statesmen, of course, there aren't that many statesmen, but Jawaharlal Nehru was a statesman,
He
and
was
I have a
idealistic.
tremendous amount of, huh?
He was idealistic, more idealistic. Ideal.
But I have a tremendous amount of response. A lot of arguments about his contribution to India, and I believe that he single-handedly provided tremendous amount of
Yes, 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 no doubt of it.
yeah,
No
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. His
No, I mean,
contribution is
it is
immeasurable.
it is a necessity for the dispensation to
Yeah.
create. But one thing is that Nehru had its own role. He,
Oh
at
yeah,
that time, given
but
point of time, given situation
yeah,
time,
yeah, 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 yeah.
one word for life. जिंदगी को कैसे देखते हैं आप?
मौका किसके पास है उतना सोचने का?
नहीं, but how do you think life is? जीवन कैसा है?
Uh,
One liner, sir, one liner, not a paragraph.
yeah. It's nice.
It's nice.
It's nice.
Message for the youth, irrespective of creed, color, religion, all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People, I mean, as India progresses, becomes more industrialized, then there is a tendency to forget the roots that they came from, and the struggles that their forefathers made for them to come up to that point. And the ones who forget history are doomed to repeat it. So that is, I believe that's the message for them, that do what you want to do. They are brilliant people, but at the same time, never stray away
Forget your
from your
roots.
roots. Stray away
Roots
from
is very important. Roots is very
Yeah.
important. It is psychologically and clinically proven now.
That's
So that will probably end this session. Kashmir पढ़न प्रस्बाख rapid fire. But क्या करन वाइन?
बट क्या करो मैं मगर डिपेंड करता है ना कि तो वन वो रैपिड फायर मगर बट इज सो आमुत स्प्रेड आउट गोमुत कि कति कुछ करे ये दे आर एक्सेलिंग बट आज आर एक्सेलिंग इन दिस कंट्री
Challenging चुना सुई तवश्ना वना one liner भी तो.
ये दिल मस्ती से कर रहा है एक्सेल new generation has started they are beginning to do their own businesses which was unheard
That's
of
good.
in the past but James Must they are stuck with what they got 89 90 and they are not moving from there.
No, as a my idea, my question was basically related to the central core idea was as a community.
As a community क्या सवाल है उसके
But क्या करना?
बट क्या करे बट it has to make a very concerted effort to maintain its language and its culture, which is dying as we speak, and there
It's dying more into the West than in India.
I think it's dying everywhere, equally in India as well as in all across the world. More so, you might find it in ये अमेरिका में मगर हिंदुस्तान में थे with it's dying तो दिल्ली में उसको शुरू चुकाना कोशिश पड़ता.
But that is happening with all communities nowadays.
No, that may be true, but they have a lot of buffer. We don't.
We don't have. That's true. So we'll close at that wonderful night. But yes, before going, I would like you to sing your favorite number, favorite song.
I can play something that is already on my this thing, but I don't
Yes, yes,
know.
please.
कौन सा आप बताइए कौन सा मैं कर दूंगा बता दीजिए आप बता दीजिए. I will do that.
जो आपका बेस्ट है, जो आपका बेस्ट है.
नहीं मेरे को तो सारी जान लगान मगर आपको क्या पसंद है वो बताइए हमको कर देंगे.
मोहम्मद रफी का कोई सॉन्ग सुना दीजिए. किशोर का सुनाइए. किशोर का मूवी सॉन्ग और गजल और एनीथिंग.
अच्छा वो ऐसा वैसा सुनाना है.
कोई भी सुनाइए. गजल ऑल्सो, वेस्टर्न ऑल्सो, एनीथिंग. Anything, you
अच्छा,
are in the, you
ओके,
are the
मैं
authority.
आपको आपके पास मिनट है क्या? जल्दी तो नहीं है ना? जल्दी तो
नहीं,
है
मुझे
आपको,
कोई
आई नो,
जल्दी नहीं, मुझे कोई जल्दी
मगर
नहीं।
मेरे को ये करना पड़ेगा ना, इसमें से निकालना पड़ेगा।
कर लीजिए,
अ,
कर लीजिए।
ये क्या है? मैं अगर ऐसे खबर था बताया, मैं पहले से ही
सेंस
तैयार
ऑफ वंडर
रखता।
सुनवाना रोजाना, सेंस ऑफ वंडर इज इम्पोर्टेंट।
दैट इज ट्रू, बट देखिए, मैं बताता हूँ आपको। मैं आपको बताता हूँ।
कोई भी सुना।
अब मैं ओपन कर रहा हूँ, मेरे पास इस वक्त 150 सॉन्ग हैं उनमें से। ओके, क्या था आपका?
Any song you want.
हाँ हाँ, मैं वही जाऊँ कहाँ बताए दिल, आपको यह सुना है?
हाँ
जाऊँ
सुनाइए,
कहाँ बताए दिल है।
हाँ सुनाइए सर, सुनाइए प्लीज।
ओके 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 जी, मैं इसको लगा देता हूँ। अब सुनाई दे रहा है?
हाँ,
जाऊँ कहाँ बताए दिल, दुनिया बड़ी है संग, चांदनी आई घर जलाने,
you murmur it,
है
you
न
sing.
कोई मंजिल, जाऊँ कहाँ बताए दिल, दुनिया बड़ी है संग, चांदनी आई घर जलाने, तुझे न कोई मंजिल, जाऊँ कहाँ बताए दिल।
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. With that wonderful जाऊं कहाँ बताए दिल, let's go to enlightenment, go to enrichment, go to the better places, and create something for synergy, for humanity, for our community, for our country. And certainly, this was a great show, bringing you to my conversation. I'm really honored that you were with us, and thank you very much. I want you a good life, best life, good health, and better future, your family, your kids, your work, your philanthropy, and your commitment to the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and so kind of you, and to you also, just the same thing, everything. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, sir. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
So that was Ravi Munshi ji, and he was, I think you enjoyed this conversation today. So I would like to conclude. We understood, we moved into the many layers of our discourse, and as we had planned, we'll go about the diaspora in America, the community, All India Kashmiri Samaj, personalities, P. Andar, and Munshi Sahab with his father, and then the memories of Kashmir and all other things. And we ended in a very nice, beautiful song. And with that, I will close today's program and today's conversation. चाराए गर यूं तो बहुत है मगर ए जाने फरज, चाराए गर यूं तो बहुत है मगर ए जाने फराज, फराजी का शेर है, अहमद फराज का। चारागर यूं तो बहुत है मगर ए जाने फराज, जुस तेरे और कोई जख्म न जाने में, जुस तेरे और कोई जख्म न जाने में. With that, I'd like to close today's show. Thank you very much. We'll meet next time with another brilliant personality and another brilliant story to keep this show moving on in continuum, so that we feel the warmth of the roots, warmth of this great place, this great civilization, this great country. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.